All right. What is up, Jeff? Okay, we are gonna play some Castlevania 4. I just beat it right now, but in all honesty, like you can see from the title, I am the least practiced on this game. I also think it's a pretty long one, surprisingly. Like it feels a little bit too long, but also because like I'm not the best. So maybe it feels like that, but this actually might be one of, if not the best intro for Castlevania. Like this, like the cutscene they make. I'm gonna let this one play out. Like I think it really matches Castlevania, to be honest. That'll play out a little quick. Yeah, it's gonna be a little different because usually when I come into these playthroughs, I'm pretty warmed up and knowledgeable, but this one's gonna be a different one because I'm gonna definitely do a few retries, not hard resets, like soft resets. I mean, of the playthrough, but yeah, we're gonna get a few game overs, that's for sure. Especially near the ending. There's multiple parts where we'll get a game over, to be honest. Yeah, I think it's just a text scroll after that. Okay, so everything should be the same. I don't think I changed my controls for any reason. Okay. Alright, let us begin. So I've been slowly chipping away at this game, trying to practice for the past few days whenever I can, but I wasn't able to pick this one up as quick as the other ones, to be honest. Like even like Dracula X, I never really played it at all. I think I finished it once. But within like the 3 days I practiced the game, I was able to get pretty comfortable with it in no time. But this one, yeah, I'm not sure what it is, to be honest. I think one of the first things that stood out was the checkpoint system. It's pretty harsh, to be honest. It's actually not that lenient, to be honest. It sends you pretty far back. Even when we did a quick uh, a little play of it the other day, I think after Dracula X, I think. But yeah, those checkpoints really send you far back. Now, I would say hanging on to the cross is the best sub weapon by far in this game, but the chances of me dying is pretty damn high, so we won't have it for too long, to be honest. It doesn't have the mechanic just yet, where if you pick up the wrong item, you can swap out. So yeah, I probably will, because I don't memorize the items just yet either, so I might also just pick up an item by accident. But from having to game over multiple times, the game does do a good job at giving everything you need, though. So it's still doable without it, but oh man, it's gonna be tough. Okay. Okay. Now, there's not many Castlevania games left that I want to play, like the 2D ones. Take care of this guy first. When it comes to like mainline games, is this pretty much this and 2 that I could get a playthrough of? But 4, like I'm not the biggest fan of it, and I'm pretty bad at it too, so double whammy. So it's gonna be a pretty poor playthrough, but 2 is super unknown to me as well, so I'm not sure how that's gonna go. I'd like to have it again just for the completion's sake, having like all the mainline games archived in some way, but crap. But yeah, I want to have these done because like I said, I want to play Symphony of the Night. And that game pretty much references every single mainline title before it. Which does include 2 and 4. Because you fight Slagra, Gaibon, like right in the beginning of the game. And the whole like second castle is nothing but referencing 1 and 2. So yeah, I would like to have like all the games leading up to it, pretty much. I didn't mean to pick that up. I don't think there's another cross either coming up. Okay. I did see a no death playthrough, and it took them like 50 minutes, and they were doing some crazy, insane like speed strats, and also chaining the cross the entire time, which is definitely not possible for me. But there's some cool stuff you can do, but it really does test your consistency a lot longer than most other Castlevanias, I think. Especially trying to hang on to the cross, and then maintaining the level 3 sub-weapon power-up. Okay. But yeah, I want to say this game has like 12 levels. At least 10, I want to say. Yeah, I think it goes up to like Roman numeral 10, and there's like stages A and B. I think C as well. Well, like typically it's around 7, usually. So yeah, I think that's why it feels so long too. Even the stages themselves are pretty long. At least back then you would have gotten your money's worth with this game, but the pacing is definitely a bit off for me. Okay, now if you thought spikes were bad in Ninja Gaiden 3 in the US version, these outright instant kill you immediately. We're not there anytime soon, but there's a stage nothing but spikes and whatchamacallit, yeah, hidden spikes and traps from above. So when we get there, you'll see firsthand how harsh this game can be, let's say. Yeah, that stage really shows us how not so nice the checkpoints can be. There's one mess up and then all the way back to the beginning. So the game kind of asks you to play perfect, to be honest. Like way more than 3 sometimes, I feel. Okay. Please, there gotta be a health somewhere. No. Thank goodness. Not full health, but more than enough. I feel like I should be fine with items, but like when it comes to hearts, I mean, like I think I have enough for the boss fight, but okay, I should stop picking stuff up at this point. I don't want to accidentally lose the cross. Pretty much my big goal right now. Unless I fall into a pit. Oh, that's another thing about this game. The pits are pretty consistent. Like, even though there's ground beneath you, as soon as you scroll the screen up, that's it. Like, there's an immediate pit right beneath you. So yeah, you're either gonna fall to your death or get instant killed by spikes. Either way, yeah, this game wants you dead pretty damn quick. I watched most of this pretty bad video on DMC becoming Mega. Oh, how was it bad? The DMC4 video. Oh my god. Yeah, these spikes, man. We'll try to avoid it. And I think that's why it took me more time to practice this game compared to the other ones. Because the instant deaths are pretty common. And then combine that with the not so nice checkpoints, and yeah, you have to redo a lot of sections. It's more like a gauntlet, I feel like, this game. Okay, that's a spike right there. So you have to play perfect for longer. A lot of instant kills, longer stages. Yeah, it's a very oddly paced game to me. But I also chalk it up to me just being bad, to be honest. Okay. Try to jump. Dude, they really want you dead with these spikes. Only have time for one Metroidvania now. Which one's that one? Hey, what's up, Shattuck? Welcome, welcome. Our journey through the Castlevania games is almost to an end, man. Kind of sucks, but we can replay them later on, to be honest. We can still replay like Rondo and stuff like that. I was looking at playing Rebirth, but man, I was looking at it and like, I am not... It does not look appealing. I played it once, exactly once, and I wasn't big of a fan going through it. And looking at it again, yeah, I got reminded I'm not too big of a fan of it. I think just the level design is not my favorite. It seems pretty all over the place. Okay, on to the next one. Dead Disco. Oh, Dead Eyes Disco. Isn't that just a demo for now? I'm not sure if that's a full-on release, isn't it? Yeah, even if it was out, I think it's only PC, and I don't play on that, unfortunately. But when it comes to playing stuff, I either have to play on console and then record on what I have right now, which isn't too powerful. So it's either one or the other. I can play like an indie game on here and not record it or stream, or play off console and get footage that way. Luckily, I have all the consoles to cover the games, but yeah, it's just all the PC stuff I can't really touch right now. There's not too many that are exclusive. Like, I still have enough games to keep me, what you should call it, like I'm missing out just yet, but soon enough, man. We're gonna have to figure that out eventually. I think you can break these, right? I don't want to lose this. Okay. Bum 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 bum. Saying every enemy was awful and that you can't react no matter how much. Oh yeah, that's not true at all. Yeah, there's definitely enough wind up. Like even with the I forget their names, but the Angelos pretty much. They all have clear wind ups or sound effects for like their jet engines or the formations they take. Like everything's very readable. Oh crap. The only sort of broken AI or overpowered AI is probably Dante, the boss fight. But besides that, I think everything else is pretty fair game. Oh crap. Okay. After finishing Dread, I started up Prime. Ooh, nice. I haven't actually tried the Switch versions of Prime 1. Oh, I'm dead. The last time I played it was on the Wii. I think the Switch still carries over the same like motion controls. I would hope so anyways. I think that's a pretty big draw of that game. Well, that version of Prime 1. I think that's the only way to play that game, to be honest. I never played like the original GameCube version, like with those controls, but yeah, I'm pretty sure motion controls is the way to go. You would think they would have released like a 2 and 3 alongside like 4, but to get people hyped up, but okay, now we have a lot of pits. So if I happen to drop down even though there's a platform beneath me, I will instantly die. So if I drop down right here, even though there's a platform right next to me, I'll just take it. Let's take the loss there. Same right here. If I drop down, if I miss this jump, I'm dead. Yeah, this game gets very harsh pretty quick. I should be fine. Okay. Again, I want to pick up items for the hearts, but I don't want to lose my cross anytime soon. Oh my god, I almost got hit from above. Let's just get out of here. Woof. Boom, boom. Battle Unit Zenith. Oh, that's the Game Boy shmup, isn't it? Yeah, I beat that before. Super wonky game, I gotta be honest. Like your hurt box is extremely massive. And I think your powered up shots are... They start off super weak. So yeah, I think it has sort of like the Gradius syndrome. Like if you die once, you might as well reset. Because you need to have as much firepower as possible to get rid of the enemies before they hit you. And again, you can't really dodge in that game because how massive your hurt box is. So cool looking game though. I really like the cover and like the sprite work, but go check it out eventually. I know there's another one, like a Gundam shmup on the GameCube, Game Boy Color, I think. That one looked pretty cool, actually. Okay, I remember dying a few times because of these pits. There's gonna be mermen popping up, and then these guys drop a little ball on top of you. You gotta be quick. Yeah, this game is nothing but death traps, man. Especially at the end of the game. That's when it really gets intense. But let's see. Faults and Bliss to be specific. Oh, okay. Faults give a long enough wind up, in my opinion. A long enough wind up. Like you actually see them form beneath you, and you know they're around in the first place. You know. So you just gotta be literally on your toes. Just be ready to jump cancel at any moment. That's why I like that enemy. It actually makes you stay on the move. And be careful where you're positioning. But I think I'm a rare defender of the faults. And the echidna seeds, I think. Yeah, if I miss this jump, I am dead. Oh my god. Please get away from me. Now, I like that you can jump on top of the stairs in this game, but you can't latch back on after you get hit. I think in Bloodlines you can do that, or at least Dracula X, I think, excuse me. So yeah, you can't use these stairs to save yourself too much. Okay, here's the boss fight. I usually just hang out right here and hope for the best. It's a demo for the Dead at Disco, okay. Adventure Rebirth is pretty enjoyable once you get the hang of it. Yeah, I do like how it's more shorter of a game too. But, and I do like the bosses. I think that's the best part of that game. Yeah, it's a very odd one, that's for sure. Like, we already went through a lot of the Castlevania games already, and it's still January. The last day of January, but like we went through 6 or 7 games already. So yeah, we'll get to Rebirth, Castlevania 2, Haunted Castle, the remake at least. I might try to practice the arcade game, the original, but we'll see how much of a masochist I'm feeling at the time. Oh, super close. Boom, boom, boom. Once it's released. Okay, let's hope so, man, because that game does look pretty cool. Like, just visually alone, looks pretty awesome. 4 songs in the game changes the attack stuff. Oh, that's pretty cool. Like, stuff like... what was the game on PS1? Vib Ribbon, right? Couldn't you do the same thing? Like, import songs? It'll make, like, a custom, like, board for you, pretty much. That stuff was possible on console, but... yeah. These consoles nowadays aren't these multimedia machines like they used to be, unfortunately. But it does sound pretty cool though. You can actually use like your own music of choice. I'm trying to think of any like harsh parts of the stage, but I'm about to find something soon enough. That's gonna remind me pretty quick. Muller Briggs the Met. Ooh, I want to say this year, because we're doing a lot of like Castlevania stuff, or like horror things in general. Well, that was a plan anyways, like for the past 7 months, leading up to this year. So with stuff like, you know, the Scythe weapons, I want to cover Dante's Inferno, Marlowe Briggs, and Knight's Contract. With the whole Scythe thing, right, for the death comparison, well, the connection. So I want to play those this year. Like I already have Marlowe Briggs on the Xbox, so that's ready to go. Yeah, I have everything for that. It's just a matter of when, pretty much. I also got a time when exactly is the Castlevania anniversary. I know it's this year, but when it comes to the month, I'm not too sure. Like once we get to that point, then we'll play like the PS2 games. When Lord of Shadow 2, I might die here. Unless I get lucky. A lot of the bosses are very, very intense. Like you take massive damage and so do they, but yeah, it's a very much kill or be killed sort of boss fights in this game. Okay. This part's kind of boring. Like really boring. This is one of the better classic Vanias. It's a tough one for me, man. It's really rough for me to get into this one. I gotta be honest. Like I'm trying my best to have a decent playthrough here, but I'm expecting to have a few game overs. Like more than 10, to be honest. Like I'm horrible at this game. Like I've done some slight practicing, but just to do a casual playthrough, it takes a lot for me to get through this one. This is easier if you have a long, an upgraded whip, but I like this idea, but I think it was done way better in Super Ghouls and Ghosts. It was faster for one. And yeah, you don't have these many instant kill pits around you. I want to look away for 1 second, but like everything's out to get you in this game. Oof, it's over, dude. Yeah, you should have seen my if you watch back my stream, you see my optimism disappear in real time. Like, I'm not one to get very critical. But yeah, we spent like 30-40 minutes just tearing it a new one. Like for um my standards anyways. I'm not going crazy, but yeah, I couldn't. That's had nothing but questions, let's say, about that game. So much so, I'm actually questioning if I even want to buy the game. I actually might just opt in to just rent it from GameFly instead. Yeah. So that's the demo really changed my perspective on that game. Not for the better, I'll say. Okay. Yeah, you can't spend too much time. I think there's one food item coming up, but even if I get the item, I'm not too sure how it will do, to be honest with you. I'm trying to remember the boss fight, but I always remember this one being the killer for me. Like, always having to reset because the boss is pretty intense. This should be the food up here. Oh yeah, that's definitely not enough. I think this is the statue boss. And yeah, he is quite... Yeah, I won't be able to make this part. The problem was his reckless gameplay, and I agree. Chimera's, Fulton, and especially Blitz are cool. Yeah, they're very cool, man. And the thing is, they all promote movement. So I think that's where the disconnect is coming from. Like, I don't think DMC really teaches that, to be honest, like movement, like constant repositioning. So I think that's why they give people like a rude awakening. I'm gonna cheat a little bit. I had to cheat. Boom, boom. I'm really glad we got that first try, to be honest. Watching this guy boast about being a god gamer only to be... You sure he wasn't joking around? He might have been joking at this point. I don't know about that one, but I know Dreamcast literally everyone modded their Dreamcast for MV2 because... Oh, they hated it? Like, was it just the rendition of the soundtrack on that console? Splatterhouse. This year as well. Yeah, because like I mentioned, I want to have this year be a lot of horror-based games. And yeah, Splatterhouse is definitely on the list. And I've been wanting to replay the game. Well, I never finished the classics, but I always wanted to. So yeah, we're going to play Splatterhouse, and I'll also have a few streams of the classic games. Again, it's all about just when, pretty much. And the fact we started off the year with a heavy game, like a heavy hitter, a Neo 2. That took a lot of time. And Neo 3 will probably take a lot of time. So yeah. When this horror, like, what's the word I'm looking for? Unofficial horror year begins, it's gonna take some time. Like, I didn't make a public post about it like I did the Year of the Ninja stuff, because I wasn't sure how things were gonna turn out. If my plans are gonna come, work out or not, but we'll see. But it's definitely like my goal though, like unofficial goal for this year. A lot of horror game stuff, and we have a lot of things to cover that sort of genre, like the horror, action horror genre. I think that's something else I need to get used to about this game. Hitboxes and hurt boxes are pretty large. pretty large in this game. You gotta get used to that. Hey, what's up, Orc? Welcome, welcome. I started playing Grabbed by the Ghoulies. That's a PS2 game, right? I think it's like a 3D render on the cover. Yeah, the name sounds familiar, but every time I think about that game, I think of Zombies Ate My Neighbors. I was watching that stream live, just didn't come. Oh, okay. I say rent or wait. For me, I'm gonna rent it, but in the video, I might just say hold out for Game of the Year edition, or I could finish. Well, I don't want to say finish, but you know, the complete package when all the DLCs are out. But I think that's just me though. Like I've been mentioning this quite a few times over the past few months. Like when it comes to Neo 3, I think this is gonna be the final one for me. Like I would like them to mix it up at this point, like after this game. Yeah, I've been saying that for quite a while. Like this game will probably be the tipping point for me. Like I hope they mix it up afterwards, but. And I wouldn't say it's burnout. I wouldn't say it's like burnout of the games. I always like to play the modern Team Ninja stuff, the action RPG stuff. So I don't think it's that. I don't think that's the problem. I think it's just the format, right, with the open fields. That's pretty much my big takeaway negatively. From 3 bursts to 1, 3 super models, 3 super modes to 1, 3 styles on half the weapons to 1. Yeah. Ironically, right? For being the third game. Yeah, it's a very interesting game. Yeah. The thing is about Neo, it's always been this sort of reinventing franchise. Like even before it became a video game, I think it was sort of like a half-finished concept by Kurosawa, I want to say. So it's always been like a movie idea, then a game idea, and that also got reshaped to another vision. Like I already have this is what my intro is pretty much going to try to sum up. But this game is always sort of reinventing itself. Ever since the beginning, pretty much. So it's just what this series is. And I guess this version I'm not fond of this version of Neo. Just not because it's bad, just because out of personal preference, I think. But yeah. It's gonna be interesting, man. Gonna be interesting. That sounds good. Good Orc. Take care. Take care. Let me cat. Ninja mode was a mistake. I think it's pretty fun though. I do like the extra movement and like the different playstyles, like it encourages. But again, at what cost, right? I think that's my biggest takeaway from that demo. Like, at what cost was all this done for? Like with the open fields, we lose the very tightly designed stages, especially from 1. But what do we get in return, right? That's always a big question. If we take something away, what do we get to sort of even it out to make it interesting? But I don't think there was much of a positive with open fields. I gotta be honest. There's a lot of games with in-depth mechanics that fail to teach the player. Insane a little bit of cheating. It almost reminded me of when I play Mega Man next year, like a lot of Mega Man. When we do 2, I'm definitely gonna do the paw strat for Yellow Devil. A piece of largely to play Neo 3 and demo sucking. Oh, Yeah, I remember somebody mentioned that too in the demo. Like they spent pretty penny just for to play Neo 3. Yeah, expect for me to die a lot in this stage, by the way. I think this is where I hit my wall for the first time. And then continue to hit a wall every stage afterwards. Yeah, be ready for that. Man, this reminded me about the whole Saw's... Oh, yeah. I think everyone just hated it. They would mod it to play Ricky Martin and Linkin Park. Twitter had a cool karma bonus system. Its own style system. People fail to fully take advantage. Whoa, there's a karma. Okay, when you say karma, it's a sort of like a what am I trying to say here? What's the word I'm looking for? The morality system. There you go. From like Infamous, Fallout 3, like that sort of karma system. Is that what you mean by that? Like that was sort of the rage at the time, to be honest. Like, I think I said Infamous as well, but yeah, Infamous, Dante's Inferno had it too. It's simple, but it actually does make me replay the games. Well, back then it did anyways. Like, I did multiple playthroughs for Fallout 3, Dante's Inferno, and all that just before the different like morality playthroughs. Okay, I gotta kind of focus up here. A lot of instant kills in this game. Ooh. I think there's 2 more chandeliers. Ooh, okay. I should have air controlled, but oh my god, that scared the hell out of me. This might be the most platforming intensive Castlevania game, if I gotta be honest. So maybe that's why it took me longer to learn too, because of that. Grabbed by the Xbox by... Oh, okay. Shadow War OG, so damn hard. Neo 3 is such an absurd step back from 2 mechanically, even the GOTY edition isn't going... You never know, man. Maybe all the expansions will help, but who knows? It's better than Rise of the Ronin. I don't know. I feel like when it came to Rise of the Ronin, I was probably in a good mood for that game. I'm actually like, I look back fondly on that game. But Neo 3 is going for the same similar stuff, but it's not really clicking for me this time for some reason. Now it could just because it's a different game, right? It's Rise of the Ronin, it's not Neo. So I went into it like, okay, it's a different thing. Let me approach it with what it is rather than what it isn't. To me, that's why I was a little more lenient on it. But when it comes to like standards of Neo, it's a little bit different, and I think that's where what the... I think that's where I'm coming from this game for Neo 3. Not caring for it too much. Damn it. Now, if I die here, I need to go back all the way to the beginning. And again, you can die multiple times because of all the enemies and death pits in this game. Well, in the stage. Okay. I don't think he's dead. I would say this helps getting the health pickup, but with how many insta kills there are, I'm not too sure how much this would come in handy for me. Bastards. I think the next checkpoint's coming up. I'm kind of surprised we only have 2 lives right now. Usually the game is pretty... We're done for. Usually the game is pretty nice with its life ups 3 points, but looking better every Dude, I'm telling you, man, after replaying 1, I was more like, I've always liked the game, always mentioned like to play it if possible, but I think even more now that people should go back and play the first game, especially how we lost some of the level design in 3. Well, from what I've seen anyways, from the demo. Yeah, but maybe it'll, like, the absence of level design will make people go back to the first game. I think that's the biggest strong point of that game. Yeah, be ready for that a few times. Messing up 1 jump will pretty much spell instant death. Okay. And because ninja tools are able to be regained easily, they feel pathetically weak. You also don't get them back on rest for... Oh, okay, now that's weird. I do like how they replenish during combat. It has a sort of like everything gets used. It's not like a one and done sort of tool like before. Like, you can keep on using them. I do like that part. But yeah, the fact that you don't refill is super weird. I don't see why they wouldn't. Like, everything else gets reset, so why not your tools, you know? Oh. Okay, be careful with the knight again. Oh, they're back around. I think their guys respawn as well. Okay. Please be the checkpoint. Holy crap. Oh, he's not dead. Still not dead. I don't know how much more stage there is, but I think there's quite a bit more. Please don't get that. Okay. Yeah, at this point, I'm really trying my best not to die at all. I have no clue how far they're going to set me back. It has the ability to crouch or jump for better stealth, but there are only 2 backstab animations now. There's 11 in 2? I didn't even notice that. Like, I think that's going to be probably the only neat thing about Neo 3 is probably like the quality of life stuff. Like, I do like the fact you can auto-optimize again from Stranger Paradise, but this time actually pick and choose like your weight limit. Like, that's a really cool detail, like, to keep in mind. So they know what players like really care for, which is nice. But yeah, it's a very, very weird game. I think this is the final stretch, I hope. I don't remember what boss is next, to be honest. If you could pause mid-Souls boss to fight, to look at an attack and reaction roll everything. I think that's another reason why they don't have a pause button, to be honest. For that exact reason. I would think so anyways, or maybe that's just like a byproduct of not pausing, right? But is there ever a game that punishes you for pausing? Like I'm thinking of like rhythm games, right? Like in Guitar Hero, if you push pause, you sort of get a countdown before the, the thing begins again. But imagine if for pausing, you actually take like a score decrease, like a punishment, or maybe use a multiplier. Take a score reduction. Because in a game like, or any arcade sort of type of game, consistency is like the main thing, right? So if you take a time to pause to have better reaction time, I think that sort of, gives an unfair advantage. So I wonder if there's any game out there that punishes pausing, like mid-game. Okay, this is the boss fight. Yeah, we're dead. The lame. Quick play, I just block in Souls game. If you did, you'll like Ninja Morse glorify low stance. I'm playing Marvel Rivals right now and Greg's blocking in it too. You should zero your score for like credit feeding, that would be ideal, but most modern games don't even have. Yeah. That's pretty interesting to think about. So I think most arcade games never had any sort of pause at all. So I guess like the question never really came up, like how would we balance this, if at all? But okay. Oh, damn it. I wish they didn't take 2 hits to kill, but okay, I didn't know that existed. Okay, that's gonna help. Let's just hope that spawns every time. Like I was mentioning before, things die very quick, and so do you. I think that's the only saving grace for these bosses. Like the time to kill is pretty intense, but the soundtrack composer for System Shock and Thief, after looking Glass's closure, we're going to work at Harmonix as a sound designer for that game. That's crazy. Okay, I've always wondered, is Rock Band and Guitar Hero actually rival series, or are they sort of like made by the same people? Like I know they were releasing alongside each other, but I'm not too sure if they're like actual separate teams making those games. And like before those, I remember playing, there's like stuff like Amplitude and Frequency on PS2. And I think they also made those. I think Harmonix. Like other like PS2 rhythm games at the time. I do kind of wish those games came back, but I know Guitar Hero Live made a return. Well, like was the attempt to make a return, but it didn't really catch on. I'm dead. It didn't really catch on like last time. Oh wow, that's a massive damage decrease with the leather whip. I know I know Fortnite has something very similar. But I think even like the modern Guitar Hero, well, guitars even work with it. Kind of surprised even there's companies out there, multiple, making new controllers. Okay, this isn't a very good spot to be in because we only have, well, we have no lives. So if we die, I'm not sure how exactly far back we'll go. Yes, I'm pretty nervous. I think we have to jump on books right about now. Yeah, and again, right above massive death pits. I was holding up. Okay, at least we're this. It wasn't too far back. And this is very tame for Castlevania IV standards. It's only getting more crazy as things go on. They're both made by the same people and rival franchises, while Harmonix made the first two for Activision. Oh, okay. Now that makes sense. Now, did you guys get into the craze at the time for the rhythm game stuff? Well, like Guitar Hero, Rock Band stuff? I think nowadays it'll be a hard sell to get people to buy these massive plastic toys again. But, especially for Rock Band's case. It's been like, what, 20 years? So maybe the novelty can circle back around, maybe? I think that's how it works, right? Every 20 years it comes back in fashion. So maybe? But... okay. This guy always scares me. I think I can despawn that night. I think he despawned last time. Let me see. Yeah. You can do some Ninja Gaiden strats. Like, I still have my... whatchamacallit? My PS2 Guitar Hero controller. Hopefully it still works. I always check up on it every few years to make sure it's still functioning. Like, hopefully the dust didn't, like, destroy the internals or for some reason, but... okay, we have to be careful now. Oh. The quicker we get through that, the better. I hate this part. I wish I practiced this more than not at all, if I gotta be honest. Cause yeah. And these books actually juke out of your way too. If you're not careful. I'm dead. Activision then got their studios to make Guitar Hero games after this. Okay. Literally reset your game. Oh, okay, that's pretty good. Okay, that game understands what we're talking about then. Because yeah, if you can pause, you have, again, the unfair advantage, right? You have more time to plan, figure out what to move next, right? And I think there's a leaderboard in that game, right? So as soon as you have some sort of unfair advantage to sort of like, you know, get better kills or not die at all, then yeah, it's pretty unfair. I think there's one more set of these flying books I gotta get through. Clone Hero and streamers. I remember trying Clone Hero for a little bit. It's pretty cool. I do like how there's like custom, what are they called, boards? People make. Okay. See, I'm glad that kept it alive. I think the only problem was the lack of hardware, like controllers. I think that was the biggest problem for the longest time. Like keeping people away from playing it, but I think it even has the entire track list of the classic games too on there. So you pretty much get the full like franchise for free. Pretty much. Now you don't have this sort of, you know, career mode aspect to it and customization, but like of your character. Oh crap. I was hoping for a heal right there, but ooh, I almost got clipped. Bro. I would have had more health, but let's just ignore that thing. Let's hope we get to that without much trouble. I actually don't mind the crawl in this game. I think that's a pretty cool like addition to the formula. Like you don't use it too often, but it is a pretty cool addition to like the Castlevania formula. If I'll have to take one thing from this game, it would be that, to be honest. I actually did make a list of like stuff I like to see in like Castlevania games, like after playing a bunch of them. I think once we gone through more games, I will show it, but because after how many years these games were coming out at the time, I feel like there's some very standard stuff that should be carried over. Okay, I think I can just DPS race this guy, but lucky me. You have to play consistently from start to finish. Yeah, that's a good thing, man. Especially when it comes to arcade games, yeah. Again, the whole appeal for them, again, is the mastery, the consistency, you know, execution of your routing, adapting on the fly when things mess up, and trying to get back on track. Like all that is a skill that has to be done in real time. Any sort of like pause, yeah, it makes it too easy. Like to recover. For that game for popularizing guitar controllers. Oh yeah. And plus you'll see everybody use the controllers, right? And it's such like an oddity, especially nowadays. Like that was such a thing of its time, I guess you can say. Like having these what's the right word? I remember there was a term for it. Like physical controllers. I forgot what you call them nowadays, but yeah, back then, man, a lot of plastic stuff. Like even the like the Wii wheel Mario Kart, right? Massive success, even though it's just a shell, and that's literally it. Nothing fancy about it. This is an empty shell. But yeah, this is the part I was talking about a few minutes ago. If I touch these even once, I am dead. So if I get knocked back at all, I'm pretty much a goner. I got lucky there. Luckily, this poison isn't instant kill, but Decompiling Rock Band 3 to fully preserve it. I played Rocksmith. Oh, yeah, that's another... That's one I never played, unfortunately. I think at that time, it's a cool idea, right? Like, that was the next step. Okay, let's make an actual game that mimics guitars, right? Like, that was like sort of as far as you can take it, I think. But yeah, I think at that time I was already burnt out of the of that craze. I wonder if people will still use it nowadays as sort of a as a trainer, like for actual learning music. Because I think it was pretty faithful enough where it taught you some real things, like real techniques. And for a game to do that, it's pretty damn impressive. I could go to arcade and play Guitar Hero. Oh, that's right. Yeah, I remember playing one Guitar Hero on arcade, like in a cabinet. But I think it's pretty much like a reskin version of 3, if I remember right. That's what the artwork was anyway, on there. This one 3. I was watching a 2xQ tournament, and not gonna lie, the matches looked okay, ugly, like in hit effects or like what the meta is promoting right now. Like, all the play styles pretty gross. Like, the only thing I can think of was what the Sparking Zero tournament that happened like very early on. I remember that being very I got hit once. And that was on the side. Make that make sense. And look how far you get sent back. That's a tag fighter. It's bad. Oh, you're not a big fan of tag fighters by the sound of it? 1v1's only good fighting. Okay. Yeah, this is the exact mission, well, stage I was talking about. When it comes to the instant kills and the harsh checkpoints of this game. Mess up once, you're dead, and go back quite a few screens. And I think this stage is pretty long too, so get ready for the gauntlet if you mess up one time. Like, this one stage took me like an entire like practice session, as if it was an entire game on its own, to be honest. So hopefully I can do this pretty quick. Yeah, this was the next major roadblock for me in this game. You gotta be careful. Like, you saw how I got hit in the side of the swinging pendulum, and I got instant killed. So you really have to space yourself around these when you jump across or on top of these little spike things. Again, because her box is pretty massive too. So yeah, things can get pretty ugly. If you're not like in specific positioning sometimes. And yeah, it's cool we got health, but it doesn't really matter when everything around you is going to instant kill anyways. But we'll make do. Okay, we get a dagger here, but I'm not sure if I really need it, to be honest. I think I always skip it after a while. Okay. wait for the thing to fall. This has to be the end of the level, I hope. Okay. I'm dead. Yeah, I took way too much damage. There's still more. We're dropping combos all around, bad movement, bad defense. I remember you said you wanted to compete. So do you think you can take them on? Like, you think you see yourself like, okay, these guys are weak. Like weak sauce. You think you can take them on? I think it's the easiest. Yeah, the second half is intense, man. I think this is one of the most unforgiving classic kind of Classicvanias, in my opinion. Like I said, like for the 4th, 5th time already. Massive hurt box, a lot of instant kill traps, very harsh checkpoints, a longer game, so you need more, like, you have to be consistent for longer. So yeah, it's a very tough game, I think. And like you said, in the later half, especially. I think it already starts now, to be honest, the sort of the harshness of the level, or of this game, I mean. It's already ramping up, to be honest. I think there's a cross beneath me. Okay. It's oversaturation, yeah, that's true, man. I'm not gonna. The toys to life genre, but it's oversaturated genre. Lego Dimensions alone. Oh yeah. How Frosted Frosting's level players are, but it was some really low. Oh, that's going on this weekend, right? Tech fighters are lame. I want to play John Guyfella, not John Guyfella and dude. Okay. There has to be at least one game. Like, for the longest time, I wasn't sold on running guns, right? For the longest time. But once you find the one game that speaks to you, it's sort of like it opens up the floodgates. So there has to be at least one game out there you haven't played yet. It only takes one, man. Only takes one. Yeah, I'm just gonna avoid it this time. I think you can just walk forward and be fine, hopefully. Okay. We're not looking too good. Health. I'm dead. Oh. Oh my god. These things actually hit you crouched, by the way. Yeah, thanks for the heal. Yeah. Sparky was just Namco Bandai being stupid. That game was never meant to be. I remember that was a discussion too at the time. Like, it was sort of being propped up as the next competitive game. But like, enjoyers of the 3D fighting games were like, no, it's going to be more of a casual sort of thing. And I think that's what it came out to be too, just more of a casual like fighting game. Okay. From the top. Almost, because if we die, we gotta do the whole thing over again. Sometimes you gotta main multiple characters, cover some bad matchups. I had to learn Zangief just to deal with Bison players with tournament as Geef in one of the few matchups against Bison's favor. Dude, that's how you know you're dedicated, man. Learning up the the matchups and stuff, and then being able to pull it out in tournament. That's the true test of consistency, and like in the moment, right? The heat of battle sort of thing. To be able to perform not just well with one character, but multiple. Yeah, that's insane, man. Like the only game I really put in effort to do that was Overwatch. Like learning all the different mechanics of the characters, trying to use them in the different stages, and again in their matchups. Like that was fun to do. But yeah, after a while, sort of it loses its essence with the balancing in that game. Okay, let me just stand here and wait a little bit. I think this is always different every time. So I'm trying to see which one disappears last. There's more after this, so I'm gonna have to like wing it, but. So go to the second one, then the third, and then the fourth. Well, there we go. Where does it take me? All to the beginning. I was in Alex and Guile, man. Ooh, nice. One of the hardest co-op games because of that. And the reason my Toys to Life failed was inherently pay to win. Yeah, that's true. It even held like levels behind certain things, right? Levels, characters, mechanics. Yeah. Like it seems like a cool idea, right? Like a digital toy. Like it's a physical toy and a digital one at the same time. Like Lego Dimensions, right? Like it's a build set, a very miniature build. But then you get some actual a second use for it. So I get the appeal, but it seems like a very costly toy to keep up with. Especially if you want to buy like all the multiple like versions of the game. I think Disney Infinite had like 3 rehauls of the game. Bro. Gotta wait. No way. Gotta wait. Gotta wait again. Gotta wait some more. That was risky. Gotta wait again. Alright, John, I've always been like skill-wise, still fun. Oh, okay. Come on. This is such a scary setup. You gotta be super patient with those guys. Because again, if you mess up, you're gonna instant kills from the spike. The guy in the DMC4 video comes off a God Gamer. Actually, his username is Godlike Matt. This guy who said DMC is complete package while DMC4. I like how you put him on blast. By name, full. That's funny. Maybe it's still a thing to hate on DMC4. That could be it. I think DMC4 is extremely like a full package sort of deal. All the characters you can use, like officially, you know. Okay. We are far from done. Okay, nice. Like I remember seeing a no death playthrough of this super recently. Yeah, you gotta appreciate that a whole lot more once you play this game. So I think this is probably the hardest one to perform that, I gotta be honest. Okay, so this is where we died last time, I think. No, there's still one more section. Okay. Yeah, these stages are incredibly long, man, as you can tell. At least a lot of these vertical stages, well, sections, you can sort of speed through them. I was gonna go through, but yeah, you can sort of. I almost died there. You can definitely speed up the process, but it's super risky. Lady interests suck in Demons 4. He's only playing them for broken. Oh, okay. Just the fact they even exist is surprising. Let me make sure I jump through here. Off we go. Except I agree with Demons 1 being more complete than Demons 4. Well, I think I missed something. Demons 4 added a crap ton of mechanics, but the level design is not up there. It added some unique, some stuff here and there, like the laser room, the gyro blade room, like not the puzzle. I mean like the actual middle of the room blade spinning around when you fight the spirit things. We have a similar like gas section, similar to like 3. It's all about like, you know, taking constant chip damage, so you better play quick sort of pressure. And I would consider faults a part of the a level design, stage hazard, sort of like hybrid mix going on. Like I think 4 does some pretty good stuff. Even the disappearing floors, what you call it, in that same area, like having to fight the spirits on there. I'm dead. Holy crap. See, all the stuff promoting movement and repositioning and like stage knowledge, for some weird reason, isn't liked in Devil May Cry. But I think that's why 4 stands out to me. So I can walk on the first one and the second one, and then I just got to pray. Like I gotta jump to the side and hopefully catch the 4th platform somehow. So yeah, wish me luck. I used to play Counter-Strike a lot. I played it a lot on the PS3. So yeah, imagine that. I think the Gearbox collection wasn't too bad from what I've heard. Like I've only played Counter-Strike on there, but I wonder how like the Half-Life and TF2 did on that. Wait, no, I think Portal was on there, right? Portal 1. Okay. Go top. I think the next stage that's going to give me problems is going to be the treasure room. Well, actually, no, the whole latter half of the game is going to be pretty awful for me. I gotta be honest. I tried. I've been in the mood to put it up again. Have you played Counter-Strike 2 at all? Like, have you found out if you liked it or not compared to the first game? We're just gonna skip everything. I was gonna jump, but that thing would have clipped me. Nope, go back. Yeah, this is why I think this game is more of like, if you're more of a platformer fan, I think you'll like this game a whole lot more. While like Bloodlines, for example, is more of an action-focused Castlevania game. So I think that's why I prefer Bloodlines quite a bit more compared to this game. Like they aim for different things, I feel like. Please be nice to me. I think these are also random, like every time you come here. I would have died if I walked a little bit further. Okay, back here again. Oh. Okay. I cannot die here. Thank goodness, bro. Yeah. We're just at the whim of those platforms. It's super random, so. Exactly, right, Knight Rider? About 4 being an incomplete package. I've always found that funny. Like, people say it's an unfinished game, but like I said, if that's the case, then 5 is even more of a stitched together mess. Where it falls apart. DS4 doesn't really have that many mechanics, it just has really got annoying enemies you have to fight. But you can say the same thing about 1 though. About DMC 1 having very specific enemies. And for me personally, I think I prefer enemies to be that way. Because that means I have to like adapt and like use my mechanics in multiple different ways. Because otherwise you can just, if there's no pushback from enemies to make you, think differently, I think the game will get pretty stale very quick. That's why I like 4 so much, because it reminds me of 1 in a few ways. Like the levels we go to, some of the stage hazards, the enemy types, how the enemy types are designed, stuff like that. Like, I feel like if you like DMC 1, you probably will like 4 quite a bit. Okay, so this is good. This is going to be the next hurdle for me. If we can beat this, we're probably in good standing to beat the game at a reasonable time. But even then, I'm not too sure. Like the section at the very end of the game with the moving diagonal platforms that pushes you into spike ceilings. Yeah, that's not going to be very fun. Unlike Bloodlines, this actually has a heal. I wish Bloodlines had that heal item right there, but... Ooh, slow down. For the love of Momiji, please don't hit me. A game all about spikes. Yeah. It makes sense why this game is pretty tough for me. Well, I mean, pits. I have a magnet attraction to these things. For the wrong reasons. People just want a flashy combo simulator and only want to show off. But that's where the confusion comes from with the games, I think. Like 1 had enemies you had to take on specific ways. So did 3. 4 as well. 2, you can do whatever. And that's why, like I was saying earlier, I don't think games should have that sort of enemy design. If you can do whatever, then there's no real, adaptation from the player. But yeah, most of the time, DMC has asked the player to do specific stuff. But again, I think it's all because of like the very cherry-picked clips, like gameplay clips you'll see about the game. Especially modded ones, where the enemies definitely have more health than intended. So it's perceived one way than what it was initially, or even for most of the time. Okay, what do we have here? Okay, let me fight him up here then. Come on. Oh my goodness. Okay. The skills only get more and more tested as the game goes on, by the way. Bro. I had to learn very specific timings to start swinging to at the end of the game. Otherwise, you're going to get clipped by like an enemy on the way up near the end of the game. So, you gotta be very careful with the platforming stuff in this game. Let me just swing for a while. There we go. Throw back to AV Gen. This isn't Castlevania 4. No, this is Super Cat. Oh, you're right. You're right. I don't think sub weapons matter as much in this one. The whip is the game's really powerful. Yeah, at this point, it is true. Sub weapons don't matter in this game anymore. But I touched on this earlier. Well, last time. The game heavily relies on the platforming rather than like enemy composition. Like, and since you don't really need sub weapons, you know, to solve that sort of thing, it doesn't really matter anymore. Like, the thing that's being tested in this game is your platforming skills. Because again, if you mess up one jump, you're dead. So that's what's being tested here, and not the combat mechanics. So I guess, like, I don't care the fact that sub weapons aren't good anymore. I wish they were, but it doesn't really matter anymore either way, because that's not the purpose of this game. Like, the goal of it, anyways, in my opinion. It's more about the platforming than anything else. Yeah, if you go up to the left, you're dead. If you go up left, you'll pull up the screen with you. And if you decide to go down, well, yeah, there's no more platforms, technically. It'll just be a death pit now. Please die. Okay. Far from over. I was pressing up on the D-pad, but... Oh, crap. Oh, crap. Okay. I'm so surprised I'm not getting 1-ups from score. I remember getting quite a few. I guess not this playthrough. Such a stressful game, man. Gonna hop a little bit. I know some people that are diehard fans, well, that are RE fans that played those games every day for years and say RE for make it. Oh, yeah, that's a take for sure. Maybe they just like the idea of RE, like, so much that they just like having more of it. Yeah, if you just look at the combat mechanics, it's a different story, man. Yeah, I think it just comes down to like what people play RE for, especially 4, right? Like, is it the character's story and like the setting, or was it the, you know, the adventure aspect? Was it the combat mechanics? So yeah, I guess it depends on the player. I gotta be careful with these things. And this is a good boss fight to show off the crawl too, I think. It's actually one of my favorite bosses in this game, to be honest. I think it's pretty fun. sort of like thinking of the negative space, because once you hit him, you have to be worried about the fallout of the glass or the gold. I mean, so it makes you think a little bit. It says Demons 4 is lesser than Demons. Nah, that's definitely not true. Mega Man is a spike game. This game will give it run for its money, man. With the amount of spikes in this game. Why for the love of Momiji? Why not, man? Who wouldn't want the love of Momiji? That's a better question. Let me answer your question with a question. Okay, we're at the very end. Demon 5 has Judica and the Furies. People complain about those. Enemies in 5 can be divided into combo photo. Doesn't have take some teleport out of the combos. On this game, crouch walking, moonwalking. Yeah, I think the fine control of this game, like I mentioned earlier, my favorite part of this game is the crawl. I think that's a very cool. I'm actually going to game over here. I need all the lives I can get. But yeah, I think the finer controls are fun, but it's a different game. Like, its goal is different. It'd be more of a platformer focused game. Yeah, this is the next part, and I think, well, second final hurdle for me. I think this is the toughest clock tower in the entire series. I did give it to Chronicles for the longest time, bro. But playing this gave me a harsh reminder. Okay. Yeah, we're gonna be here for a while, but at least the music is good. Slam my nunchucks twice. Enemies are now all stunned, and there was zero exceptions. Or exceptions, probably. Roll impact killed them, reached triple S and gave him more DT than I spent. I can just do this until I win. This is going easier on game compared to using hat. So again, if they don't have these sort of unique sort of fight me this way or don't win at all, then that sort of strategies happen, right? Where everything boils down to the same sort of thing every time. Like the same strategy. Like that's why I prefer, like I said, 1, 3, 4. While 2 and 5, no, I can't say that. I know 2 for sure. I can't say anything about 5. I gotta play it again. Yeah, when you have this sort of generalized strategy, it can get pretty bad. And that's what like Ninja Gaiden 2 falls into pretty harshly. You know, the forward Y, Suzuna, flying swallow, Zuna drops. Ridden one, Azuna drops, the lunar, stuff like that. That was my big complaint about that game too. It didn't have the enemy design I liked from Black, requiring like actual strategy. Well, unique strategies, I'll say, not just like a overarching similar strategy. I should have just swung one more time. I gotta drop down every time to pick this up. Back in time for the rest of the stream, so... Oh, it sounds good, Jeff. Knowing me, we might be here for a while. But, fingers crossed, man. Yeah, I've seen a bit, though. Different game style. So mine, Bloodlines, and Rondo follow Castlevania. Yeah. But those games, specifically Bloodlines, it focuses more on the action part. You could even go as far as to call it a boss rush at some point. There's a lot of like combat sections, a lot of boss fights back to back, mini bosses everywhere. Like it's more of an action game. This is more of a platformer. I think Rondo is a nice middle of both styles, I think. Okay. Not out the woods yet. I'm actually kind of surprised how fast we did the gold room. That was there for a while, to be honest. Okay, I do a very, very specific jumps in this room. If you mistime your swing or swing the wrong way, you end up spawning 2 skeleton knights, and you also make it so you'll clip them by the end. So I did my swings in a very specific way, like lining up the background with my forward swing, and then it'll line up my momentum by the end of it. Now, if you fall on this one, it's an instant death because of the pits. While in like Rondo X, for example, or what should we call it? Any other Castlevania, is not so punishing. Instantly dying for messing up one time. Okay. You're gonna do a lot of this coming up. Combining enemies with the swinging. So I'm kind of nervous about this. Usually I'm on the right side. Okay, it's fine. Oh. I barely wasn't high enough. I'm dead. Oh my god. I got super lucky the fact I was able to grab that. Like reach the next platform. Okay. I need to grab the one on the right and start swinging to the right. The bone dragon's coming up. Okay. Now, I gotta thread the needle and not try to latch on to these things. So it's gonna take a while. Okay, I have 53 hearts, so we're good. I want to take my eye off the screen for a second, but I'm not sure if it shoots super low or not. I better not die. Oh my god. Goodison underselling, yeah. Clock tower is rough with the falling. Yeah, there's like 4 or 5 of them you have to memorize, super specifically. I honestly might stream that game next. For the love of God. Oh, jeez, bro. Oh, I was hoping he spawned on the other side. Yeah, I don't think we'll make this. Yeah. Now I don't have the cross or the hearts. I did kind of mess up at the final stretch here, to be honest. Yeah, that's pretty bad. Okay. But yeah, I'm gonna probably stream that next, to be honest. Like, I won't have much time to practice Castlevania because of Neo 3. But I'm fairly familiar with Chronicles. He's not taking damage, by the way. Yeah, we'll probably play on a range mode just to make sure I can beat the game. Yeah, this would be so much easier with the cross if I still had it. We'll probably get a game over. He always starts here, doesn't he? Well, GG's. From the beginning. Ninja Gaiden 4 DLC soon. I'm hoping, man. Like, I'm kind of nervous they didn't say anything so far already. Like, it's already pretty much February. So, the early months of this year aren't much longer. Maybe April is the longest they can go, but they gotta say something soon. That is a shame. That is a shame. Because the final stretch is pretty damn hard. Like, the fact I did that first try was pretty amazing. But then I fumbled the bag right before the boss. So let's hope I can get through the dragon parts again pretty easily. I think those are the hardest part of the stage. For some reason, I can't see any of just comments. Really? I think if you change it from top comments to... Let me see. Yeah, top chat and change it to live chat. It says everything is visible at that point. So maybe that's the difference. Oh, I actually like that change, Bruce, about having the just a regular button. Because otherwise, right, you couldn't. Before you couldn't like throw items while crouching. So the fact you can do that is pretty massive. Pretty big deal. It might seem simple, but having to hold up you couldn't use it whenever, wherever. But the crouching does help. Like being able to crouch and throw a weapon. That's pretty good. Yeah, I liked it in Bloodlines as well. Having that button instead. I gotta be patient here. Okay. I forget about that one every time. This one I don't forget about. The pain. So much pain. I jump at this line of the cylinder in the background. Once I reach the first bar in the background, or like the white highlight of these stones, that's when I jump. I won't make it. I lied. I'm also swinging at a very specific time as well, looking at the background. If I go too early, I might make contact, or I will swing backwards by the time I reach the platform. And yeah, if I do it too late, I won't have enough momentum to make the jump in time. Every time. Get rid of this guy as fast as possible. Show me mercy. Medusa heads, please. Okay. Okay. very scary. Okay. I think if I grab the one on the right, I'll die off screen. Make sure I'm higher up this time. Who cares? We'll take it. Okay, the battle isn't over yet. Such a stressful game. It has to be up there with like Chronicles 3 as the top 3 like hardest, I think. Like for different reasons. Okay. If I took that hit, that would have been super dumb. Like of me. Please be on the top. I like when they start on the top right. Okay. Come on. No! I tossed it the wrong way. If we die here, I have to game over, to be honest. There's no way I can beat this guy without the cross. The sub weapon needs its own button, otherwise you wouldn't be able to swing the whip upwards. Oh yeah, exactly right. Yeah, you're right. You're right. And that's perfect for the SNES since it has way more buttons. Yeah, it was a perfect like. It makes sense, like the solution for the new sort of mechanic, like of the whip upwards whip you were mentioning. It makes a lot of sense. Really, Tess? Yeah, I'm surprised you don't see it. I still see his older messages. I don't really like the live chat thing. Yeah, I don't know why they did that, to be honest. Like on my end, it says like it's a way to not show like bot comments, but okay. So this is the final stretch of the game. So if we can get through this, yeah, a risky business. Oh, that's a death pit, by the way. So I was holding up as I was falling, so I caught the staircase. 3, really? Oh, 2. My bad. All of these are just hearts, so there's no real reason to pick these up. But it's such a cool, like, set piece, in my opinion. I'm not gonna say anything. Okay. Yeah, I was gonna say it's probably one of the other easier collapsing bridge sections of the game. Well, in the entire series. This and Bloodlines. I was holding up, bro. I was holding up. But yeah, if you mess up one time, GG's, go next. What a sick baseline. Yeah, this is a very hyper-specific stage. It's only gonna get more more intense after this. Like, I'm gonna wing it when it comes to the oh my god. When it comes to the elevator section, these things. Oh, favorite box art? Ooh. I'm gonna have to say Castlevania New Generation. It's the European box art for Bloodlines. That's a really sick cover. So more dark and dreary. I'm dead. That's it, we lost. Mess up one thing, that's it. You have enough candles to get the double shot now? Maybe. Like I mentioned earlier, like sub weapons don't really matter in this game anymore. Well, that's completely wrong, obviously, right? The level 3 cross does hard carry in the stages, but most of the time it's just about platforming more than combat encounters, I feel. For me, all I need to do is to make it to Slagra and Gaibon. That's it. Because luckily enough, when you game over, the checkpoint is right before those two. Thank goodness. Otherwise, I wouldn't have been able to beat this game. So that's all I really care about. Let me just get to those two, and I'm good. And then at the very end with Dracula, there's a secret corner, right? So like that right there will give me everything I need. Full health, 99 hearts, and all 3 Roman numerals. So like for me, I don't need to be consistent when it comes to like the pickups. I just need to get through the hard platforming sections. And that's my big goal. Boom, boom. Just make sure I hold up and don't let go 4 seconds. I don't know what to do here. The forbidden technique. We're still not done, by the way. I don't want to get off the stairs and get knocked off by accident. I see him. Okay. I really gotta focus on this section. Okay. You guys want to know something interesting? Konami stock value is bigger than Capcom. Really? Is it really because of the Power Pachinko? Holy crap. And Bomber Girl. I've heard about that, man. What a unique heel turn for the series. I would have not have expected that, but there's actually a canon Belmont Bomber Girl in that game, if I remember right. I think even Odimidius, that shmup game, I think there's another anime girl Belmont in that game too. Okay. One more. I remember a lot of early PS2 games did that. Not ever used the analog sticks because PS1's didn't. Oh yeah. Even the thumbstick back then, like for the camera. Like if you play Maximo, you can't control the camera in that game. In the second one, I think you can, but I think I'm dead. I don't think you can control the camera in Shinobi either. Like you might have, but I'm not sure if you could. Because if I remember right, that game started out as a Dreamcast game, I think, and then got moved over. Like for me, I'm used to that sort of thing now. Like not having camera control. Like if you're playing Ninja Gaiden as well. That's another game where you don't have full control. Well, especially in Vanilla 4. But it's not too bad. It is a skill though you have to develop playing a game without camera control. No. I'm dead. No, I'm dead. I so happened to land on a platform barely off screen. Yeah, because usually, like I said, the pits are immediate as soon as you scroll the screen upwards. And you can't jump off the stairs in this game. So I can't just like speed through this like you could in like Bloodlines or Rondo. Like everything's super committal around the stairs in this game. Yeah, we're gonna be here for a while, I think. Especially since we're about to get a game over if I die, which I probably will. Super lucky. I'm so scared. Please. Imagine if those were like actual hitboxes when he died. Okay. Yeah, one shot. Okay. If we game over, which we will, we'll start right here, which is good. So now it's just a boss rush portion of the game. Face cam is underrated. Dude, I honestly think the same. Because again, it's another thing that will show the developers sort of knowledge of their level, especially if it's like a unique one with like hazards and stuff like that. What a cool song. Yeah, so I'm not really stressed about this part of the game anymore. Like I'm gonna die a few times, but that's for sure. But I'm just glad we have a decent checkpoint now. That stab of his is very, I guess, random. It's sporadic, probably a better word. You can never get a good read on him. So just jump. Once you get to the middle part, like I will jump he'll fly off. Don't jump off the platform. Just walk off. You have more time to go up. Okay, now we do have 2 health pickups. Now, will that be enough? We'll find out. But it should be doable now. At this point, we just have these bosses, Death, and then Dracula. Death might give me some trouble, to be honest. But I think the hard part of the game is finally over. You want to cross him from the front. Try to stay in the middle to force like the tri-shot to go in this middle of the stage instead of like in the corner. Will like lock you, like a pinch you. But this way, it's more controllable. And you gotta love, I'm being sarcastic here, but you gotta love how Castlevania 4 will like drop your hitbox early. Yeah, it's not my favorite mechanic of the game. Like, I'm so used to Bloodlines holding attack for the extended hitbox, but in this game it works opposite. If you hold it, you lose the hitbox a lot quicker. So yeah, I didn't hit him or the scythe. Just my luck. Yeah, if I wasn't so close, I could have gotten a few hits. Yeah, if I didn't get hit, this actually would have been a cool attempt. Oh, we have a... Oh, I did not know this. I didn't know there was a checkpoint here. All right, we're definitely beating the game. 2 hours of playing this game? Okay. For me, that's actually not bad. Like, this is definitely my least practiced game. Like, outside of Castlevania 2, obviously. But 2 hours is actually not bad for me. We had it. Yeah. If I didn't mess up, we could have had him. I had a really good beginning there. Yeah, he's actually not too bad, especially without like any sub weapons. He's actually pretty doable. Third time's a charm. Boom, boom, boom. There it goes again. Always want to see this attack because I can get a lot of hits in. Yeah, I probably will gonna die this attempt. Yeah. Has 0 camera control? Really? I've honestly never noticed. God Hand and Monster Hunter use the right stick for anything but the camera. Yeah, that is true. And it makes the games interesting because of that, right? Especially God Hand. Like, what do we do with the right thumbstick? Just making dodging. There's actually a whole section of the video I removed about that, actually. Because having the right thumbstick be like a very common input, and the face buttons, like having to lift your thumb from the face buttons to go to the analog stick, it's definitely a skill you gotta develop. There's a bit of like travel distance to do that. I was actually gonna bring up For Honor, like how you would use the R1, R2 to attack, and use the right thumbstick for defensive maneuvers. So I was gonna compare the two games and have like a little thing about that. Like maybe have the attacks be on the bumpers instead of like the face buttons, but the reason why I cut it out because For Honor was too damn big to install. Like yeah, never mind. Let me just cut this out of the script. You get used to it eventually. It's super quick. The only thing you have to get used to is know where up is on the thumbstick, because that's what you're gonna do most of the time anyways. So you get used to that flicking motion. The camera locks in some boss fights, and then when you're running because they really want to enforce a parry. Got more mileage out of the Slogger and Gaibon sprites than Capcom got from more. Dude, that is true, man. Maybe because these sprites are more timeless. Like Morgan sprite showed her age pretty quick, right? Like I think, wasn't she like sort of a sore thumb in the Pro Evolution game? Like compared to like Red Earth, for example, right? Like, the CPS3 sprites are crazy amazing. Yeah, I really don't like how your whip can like fall apart. 20 years of mileage from KOF sprites. Constantly updated. Iori, Leona, Rio, Terry, Mai. From Harmony of Despair. Yeah, they better make those last, man, because I'm pretty sure those are time consuming to make. Okay, let's hope I don't die. Because I'll have to do this every time. I'm glad it exists, obviously. But yeah, if we die Dracula, we're gonna have to do that jump every time, so. Metal Slug also reused too many sprites. You can't blame them. You can't blame them, man. Those things are crazy expressive. Push those games yearly. Okay, we have the upgrades. We have the right tools. So yeah. Yeah, we're gonna die here. Already messed up. Like to throw 3. And then like wiggle the whip to hit all 3 the fireballs that come out. Oh, this is bad. If I crawled, I might have been able to squeeze through there. Yeah, I don't think we'll make it. If I somehow to get the health pickup, we might be able to do something here, but that was a close call there. No, I tried to hit it. Okay. Well, I don't think surprisingly, but this is actually one of my favorite Dracula fights in the entire series. We don't have a sort of demon form with this guy. I was kind of surprised to find that out, to be honest. But I do like how he has these sort of like phases in his boss, like having different like projectiles he'll send out. It's pretty fun actually. I think it's one of the better ones, especially coming from Dracula X. When I went back to watch those playthroughs, pretty much half the playthrough was a Dracula fight because how long you have to wait for him. Well, for me anyways. I spent a lot of time waiting around. Yeah, I actually went through that game pretty fast. The only problem I had was the like farming for hearts and then waiting for very specific positionings. Oh crap. What a cool song too. It might be one of my favorite Dracula songs as well. Okay. I don't mind respawn. Yeah, me neither. Like if they're, especially if they're really good, then yeah, I get the most out of them. 2D games ever made. Yeah, man, it's like I think if players check out that game nowadays, I think they'll still appreciate like the cape, and running animation of Alucard, like that. That's still being referenced nowadays, like in a lot of games. I think there was a Lunar or Luna Knights, Lord Record of Lourdes War or something like that. Like those are two other Metroidvanias that heavily take inspiration from Alucard's running animation, and for good reason too, right? Come back. Oh my god. Taunting me. I'm not sure if the cross hit. Well, yeah, it does. Okay. That was a tough spot to be in. Oh, this is a really tough spot. I try to do the cross under every time. Oh. He has to be doing the final, like, magic shot pretty soon. There we go. We might have this. Come on, come on, come on. No! No, that's fine. We should have enough to work with. Oof, so scary. There we go. GG's. Yeah, and the music picks up as the boss progresses, different phases. It's pretty cool. I think this does a better job at capping off the game than like Dracula X, for example. Like I would much, like I said this last time, like a hot take. Like, I would much rather play Dracula X. But then when we get to the boss, I'm like, I'm good. And it's sort of the opposite feeling with 4. Like, I wouldn't want to play this game because it's more platformer heavy than action focused. But then the boss fight is really good. Like, it's a really good, like, cap off to 4. So yeah, it's sort of like 50-50, in my opinion. And then yeah, one of the better, like, outro songs. So the build up to this Dracula fight. Mechanically, it's a cool fight, but I'm always disappointed when there's no... Yeah, I was really caught off guard by that too. I wasn't exactly disappointed that it was gone. It would have just been like a resource dump, like usual. But yeah, I really like this Dracula fight because how different it is. Like different like attack, projectile attacks. It's a really fun boss. I think, like I said, one of, if not the best Dracula fight in the entire series. Record of Lotus running animation almost one. Yeah. It's fireballs. It's not a formal transformation second phase. Yeah, it's more of a natural progression, which I like. It's again with the music, dude. And people think Rising Revengeance started it. Telling you, man. Everything good about the 3D stuff, you gotta look at the classics, man. Gotta go back to the 2D stuff. And again, any action platformer that shows off the enemies and bosses, that's a good sign of a good action game. And they follow the same rule. I like that. Even though I have my... What, is reservations the right word? Like about this game? I still think it's a really good game. I think it's still like a must play for the console. It's different, but that doesn't mean it's bad. It's just not my preference. But it's still very fun, like learning what it's going for, but yeah, not my cup of tea, but still a really, really good game. Animation, music, how different the stages look, like visually, like the art direction and stuff, especially the intro, the outro. Yeah, it's a really good game. You can't deny like how quality this game is. Yeah, I'm not sure what we'll do now, to be honest, but it's 5:35 for me. I don't know. We could probably find something real quick, play something for like 30 minutes, probably 20 minutes, and call it there. Like, I knew this was going to take me a long time to beat, but I'm pretty happy with this. I'm pretty happy with this runtime. Not the quickest it can be, but still pretty good. Like for my standards with this game. I'm not that good at it. Oh, we can check out Rebirth. That's what we can do. We'll play Rebirth. Okay. Let's check out Rebirth for a little bit. Let's see. I'm gonna have to get the other controller real quick. Okay. So yeah, we'll do that like last time, how we'll do a little sneak peek of the next game we play. Rebirth. Okay. We won't get far. I've only played this game exactly one time. I don't really remember it too well, except like besides the bosses, but let me slow this down a little bit actually. Okay. Ba-ba-bum. Unfortunately, this game has sort of lost media at this point, but player style. What's even the... Let's do this. Okay. Shinobi games. I was gonna do that too. Because I was playing Strider a lot, right? Last year. Like, I was doing Ninja Gaiden, of course. And then we went to Strider, and then after that, I was gonna play Shinobi. Yeah, I didn't have enough time, sadly. Like, I was gonna play Shinobi 2, so I never beat that game. Shadow Dancer on Genesis, and the Game Gear game, specifically the second one. That's a pretty cool, like, Mega Man like game. So yeah, I did plan on playing those, but we just didn't get to them, sadly. Okay. So it's back to the usual controls of like up attack. There's no buttons to use a sub weapon whenever. And I think I didn't choose classic control, so maybe I did, I don't know actually. So I gotta see the difference. Christopher, is this his name for this guy? It's pretty much his only, like, one and only appearance, right? Like I said, I'm in sort of in a pickle. Because the sooner I get through 2, the sooner we can start Symphony of the Night. I beat 4. Like, I held off playing 4 and 2 because they're my least practice games. So now that 4 is done, we have to do 2. So I want to have all the games done that were referenced in Sultan. So only one piece for the Exodia puzzle. Now, 2 is definitely a different game. Very different game. It'll probably take me longer to practice 2 because of that. That's what I'm sort of debating about. I gotta learn this for the first time. Okay, what do you guys' preferred way of sub-weapon power-ups? Do you like it when it's based off how many hearts you have, like Rondo and like Bloodlines? Or do you like it when you have the Roman numerals, like the super classic Castlevania games? I want to say Rondo. I think I prefer that style more. It gives you more reason to collect everything. I guess the same is true for the Roman numerals as well, but yeah, I think I prefer the like Rondo style. I'm playing Revenge of Shinobi lately. I was always more into Ninja Gaiden, but man, this game is crazy good despite some really annoying. That's the sequel, right? On Genesis? Yeah, I don't think I even got to the first stage, to be honest. I always got killed pretty quick. It was mainly with those like bamboo traps. Yeah, those got me every single time. But yeah, a little bit of practice won't hurt, bro. Oh, I thought that was the way to go. Another super hot take. I think I would much rather play Castlevania Adventure, the original, than this too, to be honest. I hope you guys been keeping a list of my hot takes for Castlevania. I think I've had like 5 at this point. Like me saying 64 is a better 3D Castlevania than that game. Me saying I'd rather play Dracula X than 4. Me wanting to play the Game Boy game over this. What other some hot takes I've said about Castlevania so far? I don't think saying Bloodlines is probably my favorite. It's super hot of a take, to be honest. Oh, okay, no. Me putting Castlevania 4 at the very bottom of my tier list, I did. Because I said 4, Dracula X, Rondo, and then Bloodlines, right? For the 16-bit stuff. Like, I think 4 is mostly not my cup of tea. That's why it's at the bottom. And then Dracula X is mostly fun because of all the mechanics that get used in that game. But both games flip-flop by the end. Like, 4 ends really, really good. And then Dracula X ends pretty poorly. Roman numerals, it makes you really depend on the right sub, go big, or go home. Okay. I get that. Well, the hearts, you can just use whatever, right? Like, even if you switch, no, it doesn't have that consistency sort of aspect to it like the Roman numerals ask you to do. So I get that aspect. I think the next step for my hot takes is saying that Haunted Castle is good. I don't think I'm that crazy. I've said some crazy stuff, but I don't think that'll be anything I'll say. I hope not. I hope not. If I ever say that, I think you guys will start questioning my Castlevania takes from then on out. Am I dead? Okay. Actually, when is April 1st? I think that'll be a cool stream around then. April 1st is on a Wednesday, okay. So I gotta start practicing around March then. I think that'd be a perfect stream for that. And I think I'll practice the remake a little bit, but I remember it taking me like 40 minutes to get through. Like for my very first playthrough. Like when I got the collection. But shouldn't be too crazy. Castle Legacy of Darkness is underrated. That's the sequel, right? Or like sort of revamped version of the first one. Like 64. I never played it. I know it adds the werewolf and somebody else, but oh, lucky me. 1 pip of health though. Okay. I'm trying to think what we have left to play. Like we've had a pretty good like pace going through these games, to be honest. Because once we play Sutton, I'm gonna immediately hop into Aria. I could look at the 64 games as an oddity. I won't do a full playthrough. I'll definitely get stuck way too often. Like I remember the part with the you have to talk to that one girl in the rose room. It's a very hyper specific like time of day thing you have to like line up. I remember having to speed up the time like 5 to 10 times to try to match it up. So yeah, trying to do that again might be a little headache, but yeah, I'll just look at it as more of an oddity real quick than like a full playthrough. Yeah, I think I still have it too, by the way. I should have it still. Other than that, though, I don't think there's much Castlevania left to play. In Revenge, all the stages seem to have some tricky obstacle that would kill you over and over again, but are easy to deal with once you... Are you talking about Revengeance, like Metal Gear, or... Like, the one part I'm thinking about right now is when you run down the tower, when you're fighting, Ray. Like, if you mess up once on that section, you instantly die, but... Oh, no, you're talking about Shinobi. Okay, my bad, my bad. Seem to have some tricky obstacle. Okay. April Fool's Haunted Castle stream. Castle for remake with you. Okay. That game was... It has its moments, man. Like, the controls are pretty... Are definitely early 3D. Like, you take very wide turns in that game. It's not as super tight as you would want it to be. But I like the attempt. I like the attempt. Yeah. It actually has the same sort of Resident Evil 1 side objective. You know how in RE1 you had to transfer the bomb without running or to explode on you? Yeah, you do the same exact thing in 64. You also have a hedge maze being chased by dogs. Now, if that sounds familiar, that sounds like RE4. And if you also notice, this could be a coincidence, but the shop owner in Soton, he says some similar lines to the merchant in RE4 as well. There's also a clock tower in RE4. I think you know where I'm going with this. Now, I did think about covering RE4 this year for that exact reason. Sort of have it show off my fan theory. RE4 is almost like a Castlevania game. But yeah. And it'll be perfect timing with RE9 coming out. Oh, I should have just moved away. I think you can use an item to change the in-game time. Yeah, there's like the sun and moon cards. But yeah, you change the time, but I kept either undershooting it or overshooting it. And yeah, it was a mess. That little section right there, just for one single text like interaction too. I think it's mandatory to progress the game. Okay. I'm trying to remember what these things are supposed to be. Like, a lot of these enemies are from the Game Boy game, but that little kiwi looking thing, I'm not too sure what that is, to be honest. I remember watching a video about this game, about Rebirth, and like, it was from a perspective of somebody who actually really does like adventure on the Game Boy. And his question was, is this a good remake of the game? And he said no. It's more of like a reimagining more than actual one-to-one remake. But Yeah, his takeaway was that it's a good Castlevania game, but just not a good remake of the Game Boy game. Like, they really took their liberties and expanded upon ideas and did totally different things. So it's not like a faithful remake if you did actually like the Game Boy game, but I think I'll agree. It's definitely pretty far off from the Game Boy title, in my opinion. The guy actually liked adventure so much, he did a ROM hack for the game. Like making the speed different, your jump arc wider. It's pretty cool, like rebalance of the game. I think if you ever want to play the game casually, I say check that out. Otherwise, you have to really practice some like pixel perfect platforming under some like strict timers too, especially in the final climb with the spiked walls. If you mess up once, you pretty much die instantly. But yeah, if we get a game over one more time, we'll call it there for the stream. How many lives do I get, actually? I don't think it's... Oh, okay, player one. Okay, I have probably 2. This one and then like 0, I'm guessing. Another thing I noticed about Castlevania IV, you notice what I did there? The backwards hitbox on 4 wasn't noticeable or not a thing at all. Like, there were times where I would try to do that in that game. I try to hit an enemy behind me with the back hitbox of the whip, but I don't think it's there. I don't think it's there. And this one it is. It's cool. Bloodlines is there. Rondo's there. Dracula X is there. But 4 doesn't have it, which kind of sucks. You don't really need it in that game. Like, Medusa heads aren't really a problem, or like any like flying enemies. But those little stuff do matter. I gotta remember to write that down for my Castlevania list. Like, what mechanics I've liked since replaying these games. And that would be one of them. Like, being able to, like, when you pick up an item, like, actually be able to pick it up again. Like, if you missed grab something. Same thing with the Haunted Castle remake. Really, M2 kept the weird color. Oh yeah, it's not like a faithful remake, but like its own sort of reimagination, pretty much. Isn't this also made by M2 though? Like, I think it's the same team, no? Ooh. Oh wow. There we go. I didn't want to pick that up yet. Another thing I want to make... Another cool thing I like about Castlevania. Certain games, like this one has it. When you do a neutral jump, or like a jump where you don't attack, you can still control yourself. But once you attack though, you pretty much commit to the action. Like, once you attack, that's pretty much it. You can control the very end lag of it. Otherwise, you have to commit to that option. I think that's also a cool distinction to have. Like, if you're going to attack, make sure you make it count. But if you want to dodge with your jump, then you have a little bit of movement to do that. I don't see us getting a new Castlevania game. Like, I would want them to, especially for the anniversary, but even if they do, I doubt like my specific niche preferences for the mechanics will be like there intact. Like it'll probably be a hard ask for them to like play the games and sort of pick and choose what's cool to have in these games after so many years of these titles. God has stream win? I don't see why not. Like, I have a full playthrough on my playlist, but it'll be fun to go through that game again. If we ever have a downtime, like it needs some random game to play, we'll definitely check it out again. Nice. I do like this section though. Pretty clever. All the Ruth games and recent Konami collections were M2, yet the collections in it. Yeah, that's the weird part, man. Like, imagine if Gradius Rebirth was added on the recent one that came out, like, what, 4 months ago? And if this came out alongside Haunted Castle Revisited. Contra, I doubt we're going to get a collection anytime soon, but like we already have a pretty massive one. Like, I don't think they're going to be quick to add, like, the PS1 or PS2 stuff. So, maybe they can have, like, a collection of just the Rebirth games. But okay, I haven't played a Gradius game just yet. I think remakes should be reserved for bad games, or yeah, but then the cutoff for unfinished games is different from people to people, right? Like, I consider Ninja Gaiden 2 super unfinished, but it's still seen as the pinnacle, even though I think it has major problems with that game, like both content and balancing. But the unfinished part never gets brought up, if at all, which I find weird. Like, and then DMC4 people consider unfinished when I think it's the most, like, content-packed games out there for DMC. Yeah, it just depends who you're asking, like what's considered unfinished or not. And if you ask the devs, they'll probably say their game is unfinished too, to be honest. Like, as much as NGB is like fully fleshed out, I'm sure there's some stuff we don't know about that they wanted to do that we just don't know of. So in their eyes, it's considered unfinished to them, but to us, we just weren't the wiser. It's such a good track. I think it would be up there with Vampire Killer and Bloody Tears if more than a dozen people played the Game Boy games. If I hear it, I'll instantly recognize it, because I've been playing these games, well, the Game Boy games, quite a bit. But yeah, the Game Boy titles are pretty fun, especially the sequel, in my opinion. I have a soft spot for the first one, obviously, but if they imagine they had a European studio to make a casual Castlevania game like Shinobi. Oh. About that. I remember seeing, like, I think one of the dev diaries, I think. And they did, like, take references and boss fights and locations from past games. So they did their homework, but not well enough, it seems like. Like, they might have, like, seen it visually, but they didn't play the game. I think that's a big difference. I think they probably watched playthroughs and didn't play the game. I think that's what happened. Because playing the game is such a different experience than watching it. I feel like you learn different lessons too, depending what side you're on, like playing or watching. But yeah, it sucks that Shinobi game wasn't too good. Contra game wasn't too good either, man. Galuga, I mean. I put like 30 hours and got the platinum. Awful experience. I put the same amount of time, maybe even less, into Cuphead. I got the platinum, got the passives, the perfect runs, all that. The pacifist runs. Like I did everything. And that revitalized or even started my my love for the genre. While Galuga sort of killed it for me. So yeah. It wasn't really too good of a game, to be honest. It wasn't tightly designed, in my opinion. I remember showing a clip to my friend, like 2 different sections of like Contra 3 and Galuga. Specifically the bike sections in 3. Like that one section has like multiple different mini bosses that do different things, whether it be like on the side, above you, or you're hanging on missiles and stuff like that. Very unique constantly, pretty unique. Got the whole encounter. But in Galuga, you have to do the same sort of shoot the drones on like these predetermined tracks. Do that for minutes on end with no switch up at all in mechanics or like encounter design. And the fact you do it twice in the entire game, doing the same exact thing, is pretty boring, I gotta say. And those sections last a long time too. I think I preferred the demo a whole lot too of Galuga. That demo combined 2 levels into one, and it felt way more tightly paced and more unique at the same time. While the actual game that came out was more elongated. I kind of feel like they did it on purpose, maybe to like avoid the 2-hour return policy thing. But the pacing extremely suffered for whatever they went for. It just wasn't put together too well, in my opinion. There's still worse Contra games like on the PS1, but Galuga is super middling. It's pretty mediocre, to be honest. Like painfully mediocre. I think I had more fun playing Spidersaurus than Galuga. Hey, what's up, Jeff? Welcome. Demon's Souls had full remake, but it still didn't have the 6th. And again, it was not made by. That would have been the perfect time to like add that. Was it Giant Stone or something like that? Like that was what I was hoping, man. When it was announced, the first thing I thought about was like, okay, we're finally going to see what's behind there. I knew you could find the files and stuff, and some enemies, but seeing it in real time would have been nice. Like that would have been a reason to play that game over the original. But with how it came out, it's pretty. There's some very specific stuff they didn't do that make it not so good. For most people, it'd be fine, but for you, it has to be a cut case of like being unfinished. I'm assuming, right? Silent Hill 4 is a game where you reach the middle, and then the second half is the first maps again. I heard about that. Yeah, it was pretty offensive that the devlog starts with them saying we picked up the OG Mega Drive games. Shows them playing it in oh yeah, I think I remember that. You always gotta tug at those nostalgia strings, don't they? But it is what it is, man. It really showed too, like the demo, like when I played it on stream, you see my excitement disappear in real time. Like I wasn't really fond of what I was going for. Like I would have checked it out, but I don't really care for what it was going for. I know people liked it, but it's a preference thing. If they really wanted to respect the legacy of the games, they should get people that played these games since forever, not people that just... Yeah. I want to agree, but as a devil's advocate thing, you also got to pick the right people too, because as players, you always pick up on different things. Like Sutton, for example, right? Some people like the atmosphere, the art direction, like what people look for and what they want out of a game is super different between everybody. So you got to get like a wide range of like experienced players. Like Castlevania is so different too, right? Like depending who asks, like they might say I want a Metroidvania or I want a straightforward like classic linear game. Yeah, it just depends who you ask, man, because it's so different from player to player. Like what they're enjoying the game for. Yeah, it's tough though. But yeah, people should definitely ask like speedrunners for that sort of thing. If there's anybody who would know, like what makes the game replayable and also challenging and fun to constantly learn and master the game, I think speedrunners would be the best consultant, like crowd. Like ask them what is so replayable about the game and then try to harness that. I think that's what you should go for. I think the thing many people miss out on, like the aspect of these like 2D action platformers, is the replayability. I think if you nail that, then you got a timeless game. Definitely stick way harder to the original mechanics when they do a reboot. It's very clear when you look at games from M2 and creates. Oh, that's true, yeah. M2 though, I'm trying to think. I haven't played a lot of the remakes. Just this and Haunted Castle Revisited. I'm not sure how faithful they are, but they definitely feel more like Castlevania than not. Like they feel more like a classic game, it being something entirely different. Yeah, Tango Game Projects, yeah, they are to a T remake the game pretty damn well. Like I think Shadow Ninja Reborn becomes more of a reimagined game than a remake. I did the like my no death runs for those games, and there's some differences. Like the levels are pretty much the same, like the ideas, and they expand upon it in the remake. But the remake has more of an emphasis on item routing. Like that's still a thing in the original, but they added more emphasis on it, and like it has its own sort of skill to learn. Like actually going to the bag, timing your pickups, like when you swap and stuff. It's more like taking the idea and expanding upon them. Still the exact same game, I think, like what it's going for. But it's slightly different where it feels like a new game. Like even I think Pocket Rocky is probably their closest. Well, not all the games are, like Pocket Rocky, Reshrine, the Wild Guns, I think it's called. I'm not sure how faithful the beat 'em up is though. I know there's an arcade game in the Super Nintendo, but I'm not sure how faithful it is. Oh yeah, we finished Castlevania IV. Surprisingly, man, I thought it was gonna be a big hurdle, but it wasn't too bad. Okay, we'll just chill out for the next probably 5 or so minutes. We'll leave that on. Because I gotta eat. Elden Ring speedruns. Dude, I'm never gonna play that game again. Like the more I think about the game, the more and more I'm not gonna return to it, sadly. I think it's good for like a one-time playthrough, but like I know there's people who play the randomizers and have like fun replaying it that way, but oh man, that is a lot of map to learn and get around. What they shouldn't have done though is play the game the first time and then say it's out. Did they really say that? And did they say the cursed line of like modern audience too? I feel like I remember hearing them say that. Demon Souls remake not only did it not add any meaningful new content, also made a bunch of really changes that were not very thought out. Yeah, the game is more heavier. That was like the first thing I noticed. It's more heavy. Well, Demon Souls originally is actually pretty speedy and like very responsive of a game. The All Souls game's perfect run guy. He would be perfect for helping balancing out these games because he is top. Yeah, man. You gotta ask like people from all skill levels. I think I'm more biased to like the higher end players. Like I think they'll know more. But you also can't overlook like the casual play to understand what their draw is. I'm pretty sure they will see stuff like animations and art direction. But like yeah, when it comes to like higher level players, they're gonna say stuff like that would relate to replayability. I think that's super important. Used to be one of the top. Oh, really? I never knew that. When's it on? It'll be soon. If I want to beat Castlevania 2, like an actual legit run, once we beat that, we'll graduate to something. Because once we beat 2, we pretty much have all the pieces that made something. Because that game references everything from one, maybe even Bloodlines. It definitely references 1 through 4. So, even Rondo. It references Rondo. Like with the enemies it has, like the knights and the gunmen, like the purple robes. So we did everything. We just need one more game. Moving a direction rolling while locked on which make people panic roll more. The menu which covers. Oh, I remember you mentioned that. Yeah. The super long new backstab and repost animations also are pain because they take too long. Okay. I remember I was excited for the remake, again because of the Arkstone possibility, but also to play the game PvP. But by the time it came out, I didn't have a PS5 at the time, and then when I did finally play the game, I didn't really care for the controls of it. So yeah, I just remember hearing the horror stories of the scraping pole, I think, or like the misting to like destroy people's gear in like 1 or 2 hits. I remember hearing that, like stories about that though. But yeah, I've seen some playthroughs for Castlevania 2, and it should take probably 2 hours. Like I've seen some that are an hour long, but it might be a game where I practice a little bit and have notes to help structure the playthrough. I think it would be too long for me to remember. And it's a game I wanted to just try to get over with, and then I'll just keep practicing something off stream. I gotta play that a lot to memorize. I've seen hundreds of hours of that game, but it's a different experience from watching and playing it. I need to get that muscle memory for the map layout. The new content was one new bluepoint style secret and inverted map game mode. I remember there was a coins, right? Like similar to the Shadow of the Colossus game they remade. This is yeah, we're about to call it here pretty soon, Jeff. It's 18 where I'm at. So we'll do like 2 more minutes. We'll call it here. So unrandomized is super addicting because of how good movement tech feels in that game. Every day. Dude, I'm pretty sure you know who Dragon Blitz is. Yeah, I watch him all the time. Exactly for the randomizer stuff. And the what are they called? Like the different rules, like the rule sets. I wish I can remember the names right now. Yeah, I watch like every single version out there. Like I've seen it. I've been watching his channel for like 2 years now, I think, and keeping up with his daily uploads for pretty decent amount. Like watching a full like hour-long playthrough of a randomizer every day. So I got a good idea, but I need to play it myself. And again, I'm just gonna play the vanilla game. I'm definitely not good enough for like the randomizer stuff. I think Onishi Battle Origins is a perfect remake of a game that I love. As Love also makes a lot of changes. I think is loved is a strong word. I don't think there's many fans. I think we're weird for enjoying those games. Yeah, that remake was pretty damn good. With better, yeah. It would be cool if they added them as a package deal, but yeah, I think they did a good job remaking the game. Yeah, sounds good. I'm gonna be in the I'll make some dinner and then I'll be some time before I'm in the Discord, but what you mean, Jeff? About opening something? Um, I have a bag. I think this is what you heard. Yeah, I put my controllers in bags so they don't get dust inside them. I can't really show you, but I've been playing the Neo 3 demo to try to finish it, and dude, my stick drift is only getting worse and worse. Like it's getting so bad, it's making me not even want to play my PS5 anymore. Like the stick drift is pretty bad right now. So yeah. Now I'm not sure if that's because of dust that does that, but it's something I'm paranoid of. So I put all my controllers in like plastic bags to help prevent it at least. Let me see. Is there any way to fix it? Probably not, man. Maybe if I like open it up, but yeah, that's not gonna happen. I'll probably break the thing. At this point, it won't make a difference because it's already broken, pretty much. But Castlevania 2 playthrough, walkthrough. This guy's a really cool channel too. You Can Beat Video Games. He has a really cool like walkthroughs of games, of like the classic stuff. 100% and best ending in an hour. Hour 40. Almost 2. Yeah, this is gonna be something I probably need to have notes next to me. Like I probably practiced for like the structure, but yeah. YouTube channel has mediocre gamer on his profile. I would do the same, to be honest. It's better to play it humble than go all out. Go all out. Like remember Jeff mentioned it earlier, that one guy calling himself the God Gamer. Once you do that kind of stuff, it's a little, I don't know. Yeah. Like I just call myself decent at these games. Like I wouldn't go that far to start saying some crazy statements. Selling faulty. Dude, I'm telling you, it's all part of the plan. The like planned obsolescence. I'm sure they all do it. Yeah, doing it in one sitting is crazy, man. It had to be like 12 plus hours. Ego equals cringe. I'm telling you, man. It's a safe bet to just play it humble. Because if you start saying stuff like that, people are going to hyper analyze everything you do. And if you mess up, they're going to use it against you. Especially if you take it seriously, like messing up. So, we were well over 2 minutes. Yeah. Yeah, stuff like that's pretty crazy, especially nowadays, man. I feel like that something comes up a lot. But yeah. Okay. We have 40 seconds. Countdown begins. It's 3:09 on the stream. At 3:10, we'll call it. 10. Jesus, 10 hours. Dude. Does he even eat or drink? 10 hours is crazy. And playing 10 hours consistently for multiple different games is. And does he do it with real hardware or like all emulation? Because having like what? 5 different consoles next to each other? Sekiro was a Source one. I'm assuming he went for the Shura ending, right? Where you fight Owl or Joan Owl and kill like what's her name and all that. All on PS5. Oh, okay. Oh, you're right. I did play NG4 for 10 hours. Dude, that was a wild time. Time flew by, man. Honestly. It didn't even feel like that. It felt like a normal stream to me. I think the biggest time sink was the cutscenes. Dude, what a wild time that was. I was kind of hoping we got a second version of that with Neo 3, but yeah. Like I was gonna play Tony Hawk Underground because my birthday's right after the release of Neo 3. So yeah, I don't think I'm even gonna stream Neo 3 to be honest. But maybe I'm gonna play Tony Hawk instead. Bloodborne and DLC. Now does he do like major glitches, like out of bounds stuff? Or just like proper gameplay just with really good routing and execution? Like I doubt he's doing the bow swap glitch in 3, right? For the faster like walk speed? Or does he do that sort of thing? No more 3. Maybe when the game gets started, it might change. But yeah, if the full game is anything like the demo, like energy draining for me, yeah, it won't be a good watch pretty much. Yeah, we'll let Knight Rider respond about if the guy does out of bound glitches, and we'll call it here. At least for 3, no major glitches, no teardrop, no. Okay. No bow glitch. Dude, that's insane, man. That's crazy. Yeah, right. We're gonna call it here. That actually wasn't too bad. Castlevania IV, I do have a bit of a new appreciation for it, but yeah, this is different. More of a platformer than an action game, but yeah, I think it is. Jeff Neo 3. Be short of, I guess he is not as familiar. It's kind of funny saying that as somebody who can get to the game. Like, how can you say somebody's unfamiliar with the game who beats it without taking a hit? Pretty much. Like, the standard is pretty high at that point. Yeah. Again, super appreciate it. And until next time.